Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm Dan the Happy Idiot, and today we're going to be taking apart a Weaver J25. The Weaver J series was made between 1947 and 1967. The J25 and the J4 are very similar. They got the only difference is the length and this lens. Okay, this is the early style turret windage and elevation adjuster. This is the later covered style. This one's click, that one's just friction adjust. Okay, so we'll put that over there and we'll take the objective lens off. I've already loosened it up. Get my t-shirt, clean it off. Now that might look pretty crappy, but that's just sweat or moisture from my hand on the outside the lens. And that's usually why I just wait till I put it all together to clean the outside of the lens. So I'll put that over there on that thing. Undo the ocular lens. Clean the interior lens. Let's set it aside. Now we'll take the turret assembly off. It's got two screws holding it in. Take this ocular lens bill off just to make it easier. Stick that over there. Got my Mossberg tube. Put it in here. This scope, you want to push the lens assembly out from the ocular side, and I'll show you why in a sec. Put that over there. If you would push this, hold on one sec. If you would try to push this out from the objective side, you'd end up pushing up right up against that. The crosshair retainer, the reticle holder, whatever you want to call it. And put this over to the side, get out of the way so it don't get broken. Okay. On this, we've got a little notch right there. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trying to point it out. We'll basically take this screwdriver in that notch and loosen it up. The J series is a little bit harder than the B series because of the threading that's here. And I'll show you why. You have to finagle things out because they get caught on the threads in there. And we'll take this, flip it over, and then push down on the lenses to try to get them out. Okay, and usually when we get right to the spot where the gaskets that separate the lenses, they get stuck on that threaded area. So take and pull there's one between this aluminum and the lens. There's the lens. And now there's usually 4 or 5 of those gaskets between the 2 lenses. There's another lens in here. Gently push it down with my Q-tip. And I think from the sound of it, it's getting pushed out. Or not. Yeah, it's coming out. So I'm going to get those gaskets out. 1, 2, 3. Four. 5. Okay, so we have 5 of those gasket things in between the lenses. There, and we also have a brass spacer on top of that lens. Okay, so this is a little bit more involved than the B series or any of the other ones I've shown you on the channel so far. So we'll take, this is the first lens. We'll clean it off. And put the little washer, spacer thing, whatever. And this is a pretty thick lens. Okay. Usually you don't want to do this, what I'm about to tell you. But it'll work on this scope because of the thick lens. You basically want to put it and just hold it, put it on its side. On the other scopes that I do, the lenses are thin, like this one, and the lens would actually flop over and give you all kinds of problems. So, I'm going to take this lens, clean it off real good, put a gasket on top of the aluminum tube, and put the lens on top of it. Now, these can be fun to get in sometimes. So I got all 5 of them, and I'm going to see if I can get them in all at once. Probably not, but I'm going to give it a whirl. Alright, so I go to plan B. Take this off with the gasket, set it over on my metal. Put one gasket in, slide it in. Another gasket in, slide it in with the aluminum spacer. Another gasket, slide it in. Another gasket. Slide it in. Another gasket. Last gasket. Slide it in. And I'm just going to push it up just a little bit. Alright, so put that gasket back on that little aluminum tube. I've already cleaned this lens, but I'm going to clean it again because I don't like taking things apart twice. It's easier to keep it from keeping the dirty lens from being put in there than it is to take the whole scope apart and redo what you should have done to start with. Okay, so the lenses are in there. And we got this little orifice thing. Put it in there. The lens retainer screws in there. Most of the time these lens retainers have pine tar. Whew, that was hard to get out. So they don't usually come apart this easily. This one didn't, and it actually came apart real easily. So I'm tightening it up, so that's good. That whole assembly is now finished. So I'll get the crosshairs. Put the crosshairs through there. In typical Weaver style, that little nub goes in that hole. And I'm going to put it together this way because I don't want to push against the reticle because I just end up bending it and getting all kinds of ugly and getting me irritated. I'm going to clean these off. Okay. Push the lens tube in. Alright. And that's all the further it goes in, because these line up with those screws. So I'm going to put that one in. Tighten this up to a little finger tight. Now this one went in crooked. So I'm going to undo that one. Straighten it out, hopefully. Yep. And tighten it up loosely. Put the objective lens on. Put the ocular lens back together. And put the ocular lens back on here. Now what I did with my finger there, sometimes you'll get crud from taking it apart right there at the end, and you look through it, you look through the scope and you'll see crud on the outside, and it just irritates me. So, and before you go looking through it, clean the exterior of the lenses, because we didn't do that when they were out because of my moist hands, I guess. This turret assembly, you can loosen screws up a little bit. You focus the crosshairs with this. with the objective bell. I'm sorry, the ocular bell. You adjust the parallax by sliding this back and forth. The J series doesn't move too much, but it does move some. And get it focused, your crosshairs and your target is in focus. And then you tighten this up. And that's it. That's how you disassemble and reassemble the Weaver J25. The J4 is very similar, just a little bit longer. So thanks for watching. I'm Dan the Happy Idiot, and you have a great day.